YouTube, what's the deal?
It's time to get real with Jahira. It's time to get real with Jahira.
YouTube, what's the deal?
What's the deal? One love.
This is the longest break I've ever taken from YouTube. Ever. And you deserve to know why. I dreaded making this video. Because it was going to force me to confront some uglier aspects of the time that I've been gone. But I promised myself when all of this started that I would be as transparent as possible to my viewers, whether there were 5 or 50 or 500 or 5,000. And so I am going to put on my big girl panties and step up to the plate and deliver my truth, my mistakes, my experience, and my lesson to all of you. Once again, y'all, it's confession time. Let's do it. So, it began with a guy. It always begins with a guy. He and I started out as friends, and this is going back maybe 2-3 months ago, maybe more, I don't know. Nonetheless, we started out as friends. He was the boyfriend of a girl whom I was very close to, and they had recently broke up. And he and I started talking, and everything was kind of, on the up and up, copacetic, if you will. And I guess maybe a month into our nightly phone conversations, which were always really, friendly and funny, and he made me laugh, I made him laugh. Somewhere along the lines, he told me that he liked me. And I realized that I was reciprocating those feelings. And so it became an issue of now what? How are we going to, navigate through very, very, very difficult waters? I kind of want to spare you guys some of the ugly details, but just needless to say, he and I grew closer, and I knew that the revelation of of the nature of our relationship was going to hurt the girl whom I was very close to. But I chose to see what I wanted to see. What I wanted to see was him. What I wanted to see was somebody who was completely enamored by me. And so things with us grew deeper. She was told of the nature of our relationship. She was understandably devastated, as she should have been. He was... Oh, what the hell? He was, conflicted between his feelings for me and the remembrance of what their relationship consisted of, because they had been together for 3 years. And I was an asshole. I was an asshole. And if some of you are wondering why I'm telling you this, it's because I think the first step is admitting, and then you got to work towards making reparations and making amends. And the problem with being me is that people fall under this impression that I don't err, that because I am somewhat wizened, or that I've, gleaned some experience from life and impart that experience sort of wherever I see fit or wherever there's an opportunity, that somehow I should know better. And theoretically, you would be right. I should know better, but I did not know better, because one thing that is significantly more powerful than common sense is loneliness. I have learned that, and I was lonely as hell. Um, at some point, I realized that he would never be able to completely focus on me while he was dealing with, his the remnants of his feelings and reconciling those feelings that he had towards her. And I said, I'm not the kind of person who deserves to play or will ever play second fiddle. And so I let that relationship go. I wish I could sit here and tell you that I was overcome by a sense of loyalty to my friend, and that's what made me make the right decision. It wasn't that. It was about me. It was definitely about me. And it took me, being single again and sort of sifting through the rubbish, the wreckage, the remnants of this whole dynamic to come to grips with the fact that I had really broken the cardinal rule of female relationships, that you don't deal with the ex, people. That's not what you do. That is not what you do. But again, I was desperately lonely. This is not a justification at all. At all. But this is what it was. I've been working on myself for a really long time. And in my head, I quantified this decision by saying, I've looked out for so many people's needs. Maybe this is my opportunity. Maybe this is my shot. Maybe this is my future. Maybe this is my happily ever after. I wanted it to be. But it wasn't. It was somebody else's lesson that apparently I had to learn for myself. Me and the guy still speak. He was very understanding during this whole process. And we're still friendly. Me and the girl are slowly but surely repairing what was lost. And that's where that is. Y'all, hold on one second. I'm sorry about that, y'all. But yeah, that's where it was. And the reason I haven't made a video and been able to really communicate with y'all outside of on Twitter and outside of in the lounge is because when you know that you're doing wrong, I'm trying to think of how to explain this. Subconsciously, I knew. There was never a point where I didn't know. I mean, no matter how we try to delude or deceive or fabricate our realities to ourselves, subconsciously, you always know. You always know. If you have any kind of moral compass, you know. But I didn't... Oh, God, I will not cry. I did not feel qualified to speak to y'all, to advise y'all, to review a book or do a YQA or, any of my usual shtick, because I knew. I knew. I definitely knew. And, but here I am now, giving up the ghost once again. And I want to do better. I want to be better. And I know that it has to start internally. You know, it's so easy to hear how there's somebody out there for everybody, and that, you know, your time will come, and just pray about it. Just give it time. Wait on the Lord and be of good courage. It's so, you know, those sound bites are so convenient. But when you're in the midst of desperate, abject loneliness, that kind of logic is difficult to swallow. So in the meantime, I am falling in love with Jahira again, and I will be treating her the same way I expect the man that God has in store for me to treat me. And I don't know what the future holds, but I pray that it's something greater than my present with regard to relationships. Your prayers would be nice. And I am sorry. I apologize for my lack of communication. I really do. And I'll be coming on more frequently. I feel a little better now than I did when this video started. This video, which incidentally took 5 days to make, from the intro to this aspect of it, just because it was hard. It's hard to admit that you fell as far as you did, as I did. But here I am, and best thing about hitting bottom is that the only place to go from here is up. So, with that being said, I'm out of here, and thank you for paying attention to me. Thank you all who have continued to write and comment and support and tweet and post in the lounge. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Honest to God, you guys are the greatest people I'm sure I will ever know. And your loyalty is the kind of loyalty that I would like in my life partner. So thank you again, and I love you, and I will talk to y'all soon. One love.